I'll call this meeting of the Parks and Rec Commission to order. First order of business is the approval of the December 1, 2022 minutes. Anybody motion to approve?
I motion to approve.
I will second.
We have a second. Anybody have any questions or concerns about the minutes? Any objection to unanimous vote? Minutes approved as written. Thank you. So we'll move right along to our Parks report from Guy.
Good evening. I know the report looks a little small, but that's because we're doing pretty much the same thing this time of year. So, performed building maintenance. We had to replace our shop heater. It found out it quit during that cold spell.
Of course it did.
Yeah. So we had to replace that like ASAP. The Babe Ruth field, we're still making improvements there. We completely gutted the building, took out some walls, all the drywall, insulation, and we decided to do the second level too while we're in there. Had the plumbing's all done, the electrical's all done. We're just gonna have to start hanging. It's not gonna be sheetrock. It's gonna be like that stuff you see in restrooms, that like fiberglass, so you can wipe it down easier. It's a little stronger. You can't kick through it. But that's our winter project. In between snows and stuff like that. So most work's been done by city staff, but that building should look pretty decent by spring. Hope to have it done by spring. Of course, we've been maintaining equipment. When we have, actually I have about half my crew up at the Babe Ruth building, half the crew's down in the shop because we're working on all of our summer equipment. That's the time of year we get that all ready, so we don't have the breakdowns and maintenance to do in the summertime. Let's see. We've been doing some training, respirator fit test. That's an annual training. Ice rink has been filled. Unfortunately, the weather hasn't been cooperating. It was kind of frozen before the snow we got last night. However, it's slushy now, so if it does, I hope Monday we're supposed to get like 44-degree weather or something like that. I hope it all melts and levels out. Otherwise, we're gonna have to add water. But as soon as that gets where the conditions of the ice is appropriate, we're gonna open that up. Of course, we've been doing some snow and ice removal. Let's see, attended meetings with Shive Hattery. About my only meeting right now is the new city administration building. And in the budget, been working on budget. I met with Brian Heyer and Tracy McKay, presented the budget, and then they'll go from there and see how we're going to present it to the council. Other than that, if there's any questions, I'd be more than happy to help.
Do you need us to go to the council meeting to support you?
We pretty much have it hashed out before it goes to council, so that's what I had the meeting for. We'll have another meeting with city administration, and we'll basically discuss what will go and what's gonna have to be cut. I am asking for another full-time employee this year. Is probably my big ask, just because of all this new landscaping that we've been acquiring. So one thing I did do, which I'm hoping will help, the landscaping in this last phase of 965, our Rancho Way. We took just that, what went in, and I had a bid on it, what would take turnkey to have a landscaper come in and maintain that annually. And so I take that cost and presented it. So I think that's going to help out a little bit with trying to get a full-time person. So, but that's my big ask this year's. And of course, budget's increased a little bit because of everything that's gone up.
Yeah.
So.
Guys, someone asked me, and I want to say it was from a Kirkwood program, if the city had any internship opportunities in Parks and Rec, specifically, I think he meant landscaping.
Yeah, see, we don't attend the job fair, but I send in all of our information.
Okay.
It gets put on the board, and I do get a few Kirkwood students that want internships annually.
So just to have them get in touch with you.
Yeah, so that'll be coming up here soon, probably next February. Probably I'll be sending all that information in.
Okay.
They post it on the board for the students to
Great.
see, and they can contact us as they.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's a great, yeah. That's awesome.
In fact, let's see, three or four of my full-time employees came from Kirkwood as
Oh,
interns. Worked here as an intern before
Yeah.
were hired full-time. So great program.
When you submit that to Kirkwood, do you also put it on the city website as well?
Yes. Yep.
Just the timing of it.
Can you remind us how much of the Fox Run project is included in that budget?
Yes. So this would be the Fox Run Pond. Okay.
Pond. Okay.
I have presented both the playground and the trail system to go through there. However, if I have to cut one or the other, I think I should probably get the trail system first. So when we
Around
do
the
put
pond, the trail. Yeah.
before we get the playground, so we have accessibility as soon as the playground's done. So
Gotcha.
I'm hoping that it all goes through, but we'll see where it lands.
Cool. I'm sure there's some anxious people.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Sure.
Great group, though.
Yeah.
And usually those first budget meeting is usually just the line items and general budget versus
Okay.
the second
Yeah.
one is
So,
usually
okay.
the
Yeah. Second one,
CIP,
CIP.
projects.
Got it. Okay.
So it kind of,
So more of a operating budget now and then
Yeah.
improvements later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
But it's all been submitted. It's on their desk now. So
Cool. Great. Thanks.
you're welcome.
I get comments from the bikers and the walkers at how North Liberty does such a good job of clearing the trails, and they get across the road, and it's not such a good job.
Yeah.
We
It's
started
obviously
that-
to the north, correct?
Yeah.
No?
We actually, you remember when the first north-south trail went in, right? So at that, I remember a discussion with Park Board at that time with
99 probably,
99
because I
maybe?
came in December 98.
Okay.
So
Yeah, it was pretty close then. But anyway, we had talked about leaving the trail covered and for the cross-country skiers. But maybe a few, but not many. But we decided to clear it, and same comment. It's been going on for years and years and years now, so we just keep clearing them because,
Yeah. Great.
Yeah. Anything else for Guy? Got the winter's going along. We do kind of hope that it does get cold enough for the skating
Better,
rink to
yeah.
open, because that's popular, but seems like almost we always hit the January thaw or something sometime. But that is a nice popular item for the community, so we can probably beat the bitter time. It'll turn very bitter. Huh?
we'll see.
Anything else? Thanks, Guy. Okay, Shelley, you want to?
Yes. December basically is a busy month for registration. That is when we do start that first week in December, all our registration for January through April programming. So you can see that reflected in the monthly report, the 89,000 roughly money that we took in just for that registration time period of the whole month of December. We conducted custodial interviews and working on filling Dale, who retired at the end of December.
He did?
Yep,
He did.
he did.
Oh gosh, he's been there from not
Yeah, 23 years.
yeah. Oh my.
So, yep. So he retired, and then Renee Manders is one of our long time since I've been here as well, aerobic instructors. She, due to family obligations and some other things, she basically retired as well, and so we're trying to search for new aerobic instructors to fill her classes and or new ones that can take the place, time frame, etc. So doing some changes there. Like Guy said, December is usually a big meeting with the budget meetings and going that with City Hall, and then just a lot of planning around holidays, time off requests, weather-related closings, kids out of school, all that fun stuff during the later part of December. So it kind of gets a little dicey on trying to meet everybody's needs and wants and desires as far as not only staff-wise, but community-wise, with all those factors playing a part. I also volunteered as the city's United Way champion this year, so I've been working on a goal of increasing our participation, raising more money, and all that for United Way through the city staff. So I'll continue to do that. We had a big push in December, which continues through January, and then we're going to try and push year round and do some incentives along that line to for those that maybe didn't commit for the payroll deduction year round, to if one month is better than another, maybe they can make a contribution as well. So I've been kind of spearheading that and trying to think of new ideas on that. Database, you can see we increased about 335 individuals that are actually in our database. We're still at around 62% residents, 38% non-residents. A lot of the income you see there is basically either classes that were held, or a majority would be the registration for the program that starts this year. So a lot of those you'll see the different amounts. If they're larger than normal, like swim lessons, that's basically all the January classes that start up next week. Most of the registration took part in December.
What's the refund? On here? What's all the refund?
On the rec desk report,
Yeah,
so basically, if a class is canceled by the instructor, or if we cancel it
then you
because of
refund
snow,
them. Okay.
then we refund
okay.
a per class basis back to participants that are signed up for the session.
Okay.
Anything else? December was also, we had our big Breakfast with Santa event, was one of the bigger special event items. Other than that, I don't think I have too much other additional information than what's normally in the report as far as revenues and memberships by account, etc. So I am open to any questions that you might have.
Somebody asked me a little bit, like weekend rentals for the tournaments, like that type of thing, about how many weeks a year or whatever that takes place, or whatever they're asking about. Concern about open gyms not being available on the weekends.
We try and, I think, limit it to one, maybe some months. I'm trying to think. No, not in November. Maybe
get up to, instead of going through Arlington Ridge to get to the other side to the path, what they do is they walk on the side of the road where it's a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
But I get it. I've seen, I use that road all the time, and I'm telling you,
Yeah.
it's just a
No, that-
question of
it's-
time.
It's in the works. We received grant federal money for that, but it's not until 2024,
Okay.
if I recall.
Is there anything that could, I guess I'm wondering, is there any way to help people understand that's really not a good way to, I mean, again, I know everybody's got their own will or whatever, but I guess if they just, I'm thinking, well, if you're going to exercise, you could go through Arlington Ridge, go through and you'd, okay, well, I
Yeah,
won't
that's-
worry.
That's
Yeah.
a hard.
Patterns, yeah. And you have a line for a little bit of shoulder and it's going to be used.
It's pretty scary,
Yeah.
yeah. And they just come, they just come
Yeah.
flying over that hill. It's just, all right.
Oh. And since, popped into my head, any update on the Destination Iowa grant or anything for the park?
Haven't heard a word yet,
I haven't either.
Nothing, no deadlines there.
but we'll definitely keep everyone posted as soon as we do find out.
We asked for
That's gonna
that
be
for
a big one.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All of us
I'll
did.
do.
We all sacrificed
Keep
our
it up.
Christmas list.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. Now, what?
All motion.
Chairman.
Yes.
Second.
Got a
All
second?
right, there we go.
Any objection to adjourning? Meeting adjourned.
All right.
Next meeting is February what?
When does
Second.
Colleen start there?